everybody. Welcome to Tea and Chat. I'm Vanessa Alldredge, and this is my sister wife, Sharis.
Hello and welcome.
Today, our tea that we are drinking is called Spicy Seattle Chai. It's from Market Spice Teas, and it is their spiciest chai blend. I remember going to the Market Spice in the market often. I loved it. And so today, that's what we're drinking, and I'll tell you what's in it. Black tea, cardamom, cinnamon, ginger, cloves, cherry peppercorn. So it's more peppery and spicy.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting that ginger and clove. It's very, very nice.
When they say spicy, it's not like heat spice. It's just, I mean, there's a little bit with the black pepper and the ginger, but it's just, it's a really pleasant blend.
Yeah, it's very delightful. Very warming.
Yeah.
Very warming.
I mean, I'm a big fan of chais in general, so.
It's kind of my go-to.
Yes.
My jam.
Yeah, it is. Sharis will frequently walk around with a
huge.
I call it a vat, but it's just a large mug.
Yep.
Chai. It smells great. She walks by and there's a chai scent
spreading happiness for her I go.
Yeah.
It's good for my soul.
Yes.
I love it.
So, if you get a chance to try this one, it's very nice. All right. Today we thought we would do another story time.
Yes.
So, Sharis has a story from a polygamist wife who wished to remain anonymous. Mm-hmm. And she can go ahead and read her story.
Yeah. This is a dear, dear friend of mine, and she shared this story with me. I was usually a very happy and energetic woman, not easily fazed and quick to laugh. But after the birth of my first child, I became severely depressed and would often be reduced to tears by literally everything and also nothing. For 6 months, I struggled with my self-image and self-worth, spending days at a time curled up in my bed. I knew something was wrong with me, but had no idea what it was, and not knowing definitely didn't help the situation. I would later come to know that what had affected me so completely had a name: postpartum depression. In my opinion, it's a serious issue that's not talked about enough. My fantastic husband had to work, and yet, during those long, difficult 6 months, I was not alone because of my sister wife. I knew my best friend was there, just on the other side of my bedroom door, ready to help with anything. If I needed to socialize, she was there. If I needed space, she understood. If I needed help with my infant son, she gave it. She even watched him overnight so her husband could take me out on our anniversary. There have been many, many moments that I have been grateful for my sister wife, but being there for me through one of the hardest, most confusing times of my life is something that I will never forget.
Yeah.
So I thought we would share that story. It's just another example of a sister wife who she needed somebody, and she had somebody in her sister wife.
Having experienced postpartum depression myself, not super severe, but enough, it's really hard. And when you had a new baby, your life is trying to settle back into whatever it is now, and then you just don't feel like yourself, and it's a real struggle. I mean, I'm sure many women out there can attest to that. Mm-hmm. But having the support of another woman or women to step in, sometimes it's very important to have somebody else help take care of your baby because you just need a moment. Mm-hmm. Or somebody to help pull you out because you're just in this strange mental state. Yeah. And somebody who maybe understands what you're going through. So I'm really glad she shared that story. It's very beautiful and very touching, and I know what those kind of moments can mean, and it's just a wonderful thing.
Yeah, so thank you for allowing us to share your story. Mm-hmm. So the other story we thought we'd share today is one that's kind of both of our story.
That's true.
Yes. So this happened almost 11 years ago now. I was pregnant, and I had had 2 ultrasounds, and both of them had told me I was going to have a little boy. So I was very prepared. I had all of my little boy clothes out and washed and in the drawer, and my blankets all aired out, and I was ready for a little boy. And then I want to say about 10 days to 2 weeks before I was due, I was carrying a box down some stairs, and I fell. Baby was okay. I was okay, but my hips were in a lot of pain. And I went to see a chiropractor, and he did some work and cleared me for a home birth. But I was very sore. And so I remember the morning that this happened. Jeff was working out of town at the time, 2.5 hours away.
It was about 3 hours away.
Yeah.
We were in a small town in south central Utah.
Yeah.
miles away from
Yeah,
most conveniences. The nearest grocery store was an hour drive.
Yeah, at least. At least.
I don't even know where the nearest hospital was.
Yeah, probably roughly similar.
Yeah, it was far away. And then Jeff was working, I think he was working in St. George.
Yeah.
So I think it was about a 3-hour drive.
Yeah, so Jeff was working 3 hours in one direction, and my midwife actually lived 3 hours in the other direction. Anyway, that morning, Jeff left for work, and typically he'd be gone all week and then come home on the weekends. I remember throughout the day, my hips just hurt really, really bad. And I just kept brushing it off because, I fell down the stairs and I jammed my hips and they're sore. Of course they hurt. And I just went all day long. There were moments where I remember I had to stop and like, man, this pain in my hips is so bad. I just got to breathe through this pain in my hips.
That did not ring any bells for her, apparently.
It did not, because I had 2 children before this, and I always felt labor like in my lower back, and it would wrap around my torso. I'd never felt it in my hips. And so I was like, well, this is not labor. I've been in labor twice, and this is not what it was. This is just my hip pain.
Jeff checked with you before he went to work. He was
did.
well, how are you feeling? I'm planning on going to work. Is that okay with you? And you're like, yeah, sure, we're
good. I was like, yeah, I'm good. Also, both of my prior labors had been 12 hours long each. Each had been 12 hours long. So I was like, as soon as I go into labor, you'll have like 12 hours to get home. It's fine. You go. I'll be fine. My midwife checked in with me several times that day, and I would assure both of them, I'm fine. This is just hip pain. I know what labor feels like, and this just isn't it. So you're good. Until about 9 or 9:30 that night, I remember I called my midwife, and I was like, so there's this pressure downstairs. Whenever my hip pain gets really intense, there's this pressure. I think I'm in labor. And turns out I was just entering transition at that point. So my midwife was like, go take a nice warm shower, tell Vanessa what's going on, have some towels ready. I'll get there as fast as I can. So I hung up the phone. I called Jeff. I went down and told you what my midwife had said.
Yeah, she's like, well, just in case.
Just
I'm just going to go take a shit. No, she just said, I'm just going to go rest. Mm-hmm. And, it's probably nothing. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Right, well.
I think maybe I'd taken a shower before that. And I was like,
no, you hadn't.
Not yet.
Because here's what went through my brain. As I went and laid down, thought, well, I better get some sleep because I don't know if I'll be up later. Mm-hmm. You were supposed to be going to sleep resting.
I was trying to rest.
And then I heard, I don't know, minutes or 20 minutes later. I don't even remember the time frames, but I heard her get in the shower. And I was like, oh, crap. She's getting in the shower.
That's right.
She's not sleeping. She's not resting. I know what this means. Yep. I am not getting sleep. So I tried to force myself to get as much sleep as I could, which means I got 0.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm sleeping.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I remember now. Yeah, I got in the shower because I thought maybe some heat will help me relax because it was getting pretty intense at that point. And I got out of the shower and things were not slowing down at all. So I remember I called Vanessa up and was at that point in very active labor. Yeah. And from where my midwife lived to our house there was mostly no cell service. There was a couple places here or there that she called in like, okay, how are things going? And I remember she would talk to me and then I would kind of give her an update on how I was feeling, and then I would hand the phone to Vanessa. And at one point in time, she told you.
Yeah, so she told me, because there's on and off cell service until about 45 minutes from our house, and then it's pretty much nothing till you get here. So she was getting close to that zone, and she got on the phone with me. She had just talked to Sharis, and then she was talking to me, and she's like, so it's very likely that baby will get there before I do. And I was like, I do not want to hear this.
She's like, no, tell me.
So she walked me through what I should do in the event that baby did arrive before her.
Yeah.
And I did not tell that to Sharis because she did not need to hear that. And I'm pretty sure the midwife said, you don't need to mention this to Sharis, but here's what you're going to do if this happens.
Yep.
So I got off the phone with her and we proceeded, and I reminded myself, we're made to do this. I've seen the goats do this so many times. It's fine.
You've done this yourself.
Yep. I've been there, done it. So it's like, okay. I was like, please, quickly get here, midwife.
Yeah.
I do not want this responsibility.
Yeah, and at that point, she was closer than any ambulance or hospital.
Oh, yeah.
So.
No, it was... And we didn't feel like anything was wrong. It was just labor.
It was just labor. In fact, at that point in time, my boys, Daniel and Dalinar, were 3 and 4 years old, something like that. And they actually slept in the same room as I did. I had this huge loft in this house we were staying in. And so they just shared a bedroom with me. And I remember at one point in time, my son Daniel woke up, kind of. And he sat up in bed and he's like, Mom, would you stop singing? I'm trying to sleep. And I don't know if that is a compliment to the sounds I make when I'm in labor or if it's an insult to the way I sing. I don't know. But he just kind of laid back down, and I thought, at that point in time, I'd been in my bedroom. And I was like, okay, I should probably get to my bathroom, because then I can at least close the door, and I won't wake up Dalinar. Anyway, and so it was just, remember, I had just crawled across the bathroom threshold, and you said something about my pants, like, we should probably take your pants off or something.
Well,
I was still
I think
fully
you were
clothed.
asked if, would you check me or something. So,
Something.
like, well, let's take your pants off.
Yeah, I was still fully clothed. In my mind, baby couldn't come, was not going to come until the midwife got there. And so it never entered my brain that this baby could beat your midwife. And so I was just like, well, I'll just labor and try to stay calm as I can until she gets here. There was no reason to prep for the actual baby. So my brain did not make it that far. It was not happening. But anyway, so I remember as I crawled across the bathroom threshold, there was just intense pressure, and I felt it release. I felt this pressure give way, and I just, and then Vanessa said, the head's here. And in my brain, I was like, what? She must mean she can see the head, because I've had 2 babies, and I did not just give birth to a head. Okay? That did not just happen. And then she's like, oh, baby's here.
It was like almost like I barely finished saying the one thing before the rest of the baby was here.
Yeah.
And Sharis was like, what?
And honestly, my firstborn was like over 8 pounds. Dalinar was just at 8 pounds. And this baby was barely 6 pounds. And so she slipped right out. And turns out that pressure had been my water sac. It hadn't broke. My waters hadn't broke. And so she was almost born in the sac. And so Vanessa passed me up my baby, and I was like, oh my gosh, we did it. Because remember, ultrasound had told me I was expecting a boy.
Yes.
And
I handed Sharis the baby. We got everything situated. I got her settled. She was sitting in the bathtub at that point. We got her sitting, got her the baby, and I was like, wait, I have a memory of something I saw a few seconds ago.
I wasn't even thinking, check. I was just kind of in this mode of, oh my gosh, I just had a baby.
Right. I mean, we were both kind of in that mode.
It's like, it's breathing. It's still breathing.
Yeah.
We're good. You know?
Baby's fine. Mom's fine. Okay. Everything's okay. And then I was like, okay, I saw something a little bit ago. I need to like grab the baby from Sharis. I'm like, look at the baby. I'm like, turned the baby around. I'm like, Sharis, these are not boy parts. And she's like, once again, that stun of, what?
Yeah. And so, I joke. I'm like, because I had a name picked out and everything. I was going to
Benjamin.
I was going to name my son Benjamin.
Between that moment, okay, so baby arrived. We were very happy that it was done. Everything was okay. There was no complications.
Nope.
So we got Sharis settled, and Jeff, we managed to get in touch with Jeff. He had already been on his way at that point.
He was on the road.
And so I told him, I said, okay, Sharis is fine. Baby's here. Benjamin is here.
Benjamin is here.
Sharis is fine. Get here quickly, and we'll see you soon. It's so exciting.
Yeah.
And so...
Click. Wait a minute. Something's off.
Yes. And so after that point, that's when we discovered that Benjamin was not Benjamin.
Yeah. I joke. I'm like, Vanessa, I handed you Benjamin... And you had him for, 30 seconds?
Magical fingers.
I know, handed me back Misty. And so there was surprises all around. I want to say that the baby had been here for maybe 20 minutes before the midwife got there.
I think so.
And we'd known it was a girl for maybe 10 minutes, something like that. And so the midwife got there, and we got to, hey, look, it's actually a girl. Yeah. And then Jeff got there, half hour after the midwife? Yeah. And I do not know what speeding laws they broke. But they eventually got home.
We can't say whether they did or didn't.
Allegedly.
So I don't know.
Allegedly broke. But yeah, so that's one of my favorite stories. A moment that I would have been completely alone in the middle of nowhere if I hadn't had my sister wife who lived in the house with me.
But yeah, that is a really fun memory. It was one of those things that I love telling it after the fact.
Yeah.
In the moment, it was
like, this, no,
yeah.
this
Well,
is not
and
happening.
like, of course, it was not awful, but there's the stress of, oh my gosh, this is one of those moments that I'm here. I have to do this. And, even though I was experiencing the inner turmoil of, can I do what's required of me? I don't feel prepared for this. It was one of those, but I can't let Sharis see any of that. It was just calm, cool, collected. And like, here, wrong. I'll help you with your counter pressure. Like, let's just get through this. You're fine. And then inside, I'm like, okay, we got this.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a very fun moment, and it's really fun to know that I was the very first person I ever laid eyes on and held Misty. And
it's true.
It's a special moment for anybody who's ever been there for somebody else in that capacity. It's like, there's nothing quite like it.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's those are the two stories we were going to share today, and we hope you enjoyed them.
Yeah, there's something so special about those moments around birth and about raising your children, especially in those first times, that having a sister wife is so helpful.
Yeah, those moments, they're so sacred, and they're so sacred to women. And to be able to share that and to support other women as they go through that is also sacred and special.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you for the opportunity to let
no
me
problem.
share that story and be a part of it.
No problem. Anytime.
Please no.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, looking back on it, it's a wonderful memory.
Yes.
In the moment, it was like, what if things go wrong?
But that's life, though,
Yeah.
Things come up that you're not prepared for. It wasn't what you had planned on, and then you just have to roll with it. And it's so nice when they turn out so beautifully.
It's true.
And we realize that we are up to the task. We can do this, and that was one of those. So, hope everyone enjoyed that. We certainly did.
Yes, we did. I got a baby out of it. It was Alrighty, well, I guess we will see you guys next time. Feel free to leave any comments or questions down below, and we will see you next time.
Bye-bye.